Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, July 5th, 2021. Today I'm going to recap the Stanley Cup Finals, game number 3. Look ahead to tonight's game 4. NBA Eastern Conference Finals, we'll recap that, and I'll give out my pick for the NBA Finals. Major League Baseball, WNBA, UEFA, go over everything from the weekend, and look ahead to everything going on today. We'll recap tennis, look ahead to today. We'll go over the results from the Rocket Mortgage Classic, NASCAR race results from the Road of Americas, latest news and notes, and my best bet of the day. All right, we'll start with the Stanley Cup Final, game number 3, as the Tampa Bay Lightning come out on top with a 6-3 victory to take a 3-0 series lead. The number 3 star of the game with the goal and assist, Victor Hedman. Number 2 star of the game with the goal and assist, Nikita Kucherov. Number 1 star of the game with 2 goals, Tyler Johnson. Tampa really is putting together a domination clinic here of Montreal in this series. And they have a chance to close out tonight, 8 o'clock NBC. Tampa's up 3-0 in the series. And they are favored tonight at a price of minus 158. Montreal's plus 134. Over-unders 5.5. Overs plus 128. Unders minus 158. Tampa minus 1.5 is plus 164. Montreal plus 1.5 is minus 200. I'm probably going to regret this, but I think this might go 5. Last stand for the Canadians. Last hurrah. Plus 134 at home. Fans in the stands. So we go with Montreal tonight. Plus 134. I think they're just due for a good performance as they get a win here in the Stanley Cup Final. All right. Now we will recap the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, which came to a close on Saturday night with the Bucks defeating the Hawks 118-107 to win the series in 6 games. Trae Young came back in this game. Giannis did not, but the Bucks still found the way to win. Chris Middleton really has put himself in a good spot here. 32 points for him in Game 6. Cam Reddish had 21 to lead Atlanta. And now Milwaukee will face the Phoenix Suns in the finals. I think this is going to be a good series. I think Giannis should be back for Game 1. There were rumors out that he would have been back for a potential Game 7, which would have been on Monday. So maybe he'll be back for Game 1, which would be great. And then you obviously have Middleton and Holiday. Brook Lopez has stepped his game up in the postseason. Their bench really isn't that great. Dante DiVincenzo can hit threes on occasion. Pat Connaughton, guys like that. PJ Tucker, we thought was a good pickup, but really he looks pretty much washed up. But on the other side, you have the good backcourt in Devin Booker and Chris Paul. You got DeAndre Ayton, who really has established himself as a franchise center in these playoffs. He's pretty much like a mini Joel Embiid without the long-range shot from 3 at this point. And then you have Mikal Bridges, who's probably their 4th best guy. Cam Payne's giving them good minutes. They have a nice bench, too. The best player in the series is Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I think the better team is the Phoenix Suns. The deeper team is the Phoenix Suns. It just feels like their year. It feels like Chris Paul's year. I'm going to say that the Suns win this series in 6 games over the Milwaukee Bucks, and Game 1 will be in Phoenix. So I think that the Suns win this series in 6 over the Milwaukee Bucks. And your Finals MVP will be, I hate to say this because I've just praised Chris Paul, but my gut tells me that the finals MVP is going to be Devin Booker. As much as I would like it for it to be Chris Paul because of the narrative and whatnot, I just think that this is a Devin Booker series. He shoots the lights out. So I'm going to say Devin Booker will be your finals MVP in the picks, Suns in 6. All right, Major League Baseball from the weekend. We'll go over all the results. And we will look ahead to the games for today. So Friday's results. Phillies over the Padres 4-3-10 on a walk-off double by Brad Miller. And it was a pinch hit double, too. Dodgers over the Nationals 10-5. Brewers over the Pirates 7-2. Blue Jays over the Rays 11-1, so best bet was a loser. White Sox over the Tigers 8-2. Reds over the Cubs 2-1. Astros over the Indians 6-3. Braves over the Marlins 1-0. Royals over the Twins 7-4. Cardinals over the Rockies 9-3-10. Angels over the Orioles 8-7. Red Sox over the A's 3-2-10. Giants over the D-backs 11-4. And Mariners over the Rangers 5-4-10 on a walk-off infield single by Jake Fraley. And Yankees-Mets was postponed. Their makeup date was yesterday. Mets over the Yankees 8-3. Blue Jays over the Rays 6-3. Brewers over the Pirates 11-2. Phillies over the Padres 4-2. Tigers over the White Sox 11-5. Reds over the Cubs 3-2. Marlins over the Braves 3-2. Royals over the Twins 6-3. A's over the Red Sox 7-6 and 12 on a walk-off sac fly by Tony Kemp. Bad loss for the Red Sox. Astros over the Indians 3-2. Dodgers over the Nationals 5-3. Rocks over the Cards 3-2. Angels over the Orioles 4-1. Giants over the Diamondbacks 6-5. Rangers over the Mariners 7-3. And then 4th of July Sunday, Dodgers over the Nationals 5-1. Dodgers 53-31. Nats 40-42. Pirates over the Brewers 2-0. Pirates 30-53. Milwaukee 51-34. Padres over the Phillies 11-1. Padres 50-36. Phillies 39-42. Rays over the Blue Jays 5-1. Rays 48-36. Toronto 43-39. Tigers over the White Sox 6-5. The Tigers are 38-46. Chicago 49-34. Reds over the Cubs 3-2. The Reds 43-30. The Cubs 42-42. So the Cubs 9 straight losses. Wow. Astros over the Indians 4-3-10. Astros 52-33. Cleveland 42-39. Braves over the Marlins 8-7-10 on a walk-off single by Max Fried of all people. Max Fried. You would have never guessed it, guys, right? Pitcher Max Fried with a walk-off hit, ladies and gentlemen. Atlanta 41-42. Miami 35-47. So Atlanta's starting to come around a little bit. Game 1, Mets over the Yanks 10-5-7. Mets 43-36. Yanks 41-41. Twins over the Royals 6-2. The Twins 34-48. KC 35-48. Rockies over the Cardinals 3-2. The Rockies 37-48. St. Louis they're 41-44. Angels over the Orioles 6-5. Angels 42-41. Baltimore 27-57. So the Angels are now over 500. Red Sox over the A's 1-0. Boston 53-32. Oakland 49-37. Mariners over the Rangers 4-1. The Mariners 45-40. Texas 33-51. Game 2 doubleheader. Yankees over the Mets 4-2. The Yankees 42-41. Mets 43-37. And the Giants over the Diamondbacks 5-2. The Giants 53-30. Arizona 23-63. All right, today's games at 6 o'clock. You have the Cardinals at the Giants. Kwang Hyun Kim and Kevin Gossman. The Giants, I probably would think are minus 150, right? Minus 225. Holy crap. The disrespect of the Cardinals, plus 188. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Cardinals plus 1.5 is minus 115. Giants minus 1.5 is minus 104. I know the Giants have been awesome. They're 23 above 500, but I think that's good value on the Cardinals. I really do. But I'm still not going to touch it. I'm going to go over 7.5 at minus 118. 6:30, Dodgers Marlins. Walker Buehler and Trevor Rogers. Dodgers minus 162. Miami plus 136. Over under 7. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 112. Miami plus 1.5 is minus 132. I'm going to go with the Marlins plus 136. Trevor Rogers has been awesome this year. 7 o'clock, ESPN. White Sox Twins. Dylan Cease and Bailey Ober. White Sox minus 118. Twins even money. Over under 10. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Chicago minus 1.5 is plus 132. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 160. I'm going to go with the White Sox minus 1.5 at plus 132. Braves Pirates. Max Fried and Chase DeYoung. Atlanta minus 188. Pittsburgh plus 158. Over under 9 minus 110 each way. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 106. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 113. I'm going to go Braves minus 1.5 and minus 106. They feel like a team that's coming back. Indians Rays. Logan Allen and Rich Hill. Rays are minus 200. Indians plus 168. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Cleveland plus 1.5 is minus 115. Rays minus 1.5 is minus 104. I'm going over 8.5 minus 114, but I don't feel good about it. Brewers Mets. Brandon Woodruff and Tyler McGill. Brewers minus 136. Mets plus 116. Over under 7.5 minus 106. Over unders minus 114. Brewers plus or minus 1.5 is plus 118. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 142. I'm going over 7.5. I think the Brewers can do it by themselves. 8 o'clock, Tigers Rangers. Willie Peralta and Colby Allard. Rangers minus 162. The Tigers are plus 136. Over under 9. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Detroit plus 1.5 is minus 150. Texas minus 1.5 is plus 125. I'm going to go take a shot with the Tigers as a plus 136 underdog at Texas today. Willie Peralta hasn't been that bad this season. Phillies Cubs. Let's see if the Cubs losing streak comes to an end. Matt Moore and Zach Davies. Cubs minus 144. Phillies plus 122. Over under 11. Minus 110 each way. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 154. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 126. 11's a high number. I'm going to go under 11 minus 105. And the over is minus 115. It literally just changed on the fly. Reds Royals. Vladimir Gutierrez and Mike Minor. Royals minus 130. Reds plus 110. Over under 10. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 164. Royals minus 1.5 is plus 136. The disrespect of the Reds. I'm taking plus 110 on Kansas City against the Royals. 9:30 ESPN Red Sox Angels. Martin Perez and Jose Suarez. Red Sox minus 118. Angels even money. Over under 10. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 136. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 164. I'm taking the Angels even money. The Angels have been playing good baseball of late. So give me the Angels plus 100 against the Red Sox. At 10 o'clock, the Nationals and the Padres. John Lester and Joe Musgrove. No lines are up yet. If the total is anything less than 8, I am going to jump on the over in that game. All right, the WNBA. We will recap the games from the weekend, and we will look ahead to today's games. Friday night, Wings over the Sky, 191. The Wings, 9-9. Chicago, 10-9. Aces over the Sparks, 66-58. Las Vegas, 13-4. Los Angeles, 6-10. Storm over the Dream, 91-88. The Storm, 13-4. Atlanta, 6-10. Saturday, Sun over the Fever, 73-67. Oh, I'm sorry, the Fever over the Sun, 73-67. Holy shit. I really didn't notice that the Fever finally won a game. So, Indiana 2-16, snapping their single season franchise losing streak record of 12, and Connecticut 12-6. Liberty over the Mystics, 82-79, the Quishers Cup game. Good win for the Liberty. They're 9-9. Washington 7-10. So Tina Charles has a good game. Not enough. Lynx over to Mercury, 99-68. Lynx 9-7. Phoenix 7-9. Sunday, Aces over the Dream 118.95. The Aces 14-4. Atlanta 6-11. And Commissioner's Cup Storm over the Sparks 84-74. The Storm 14-4. Los Angeles 6-11. And then one game tonight on Facebook at 7 o'clock. You have the Wings and the Liberty, each 9-9. I think that it's time for New York to go on a run here. Where things stand right now, they are the 6th seed. So, I'm going to go with the Liberty, who are the 6th, and then Dallas is the 7th. So, let's say Ionescu finally has herself a great game. So, I'm going to go with the Liberty at home. Although Dallas is a 4.5-point favorite, I'll take the Liberty and the points, and I think they'll win outright. So give me the Liberty at home against the Dallas Wings. Okay, now we will do UEFA quarterfinals results from the weekend. So look back on those. Friday, Spain over Switzerland. And penalty kicks, 1-1. In the 8th minute, Denise Zakaria own goal, 1-0 Spain. And then Switzerland ties it on a goal in the 68th minute by Zerdon Shaqiri in the 68th minute. And then Remo Freuler got red flagged in the 77th minute for Switzerland. And then the penalty shootout. Sergio Busquets misses for Spain. Mario Gavranovic of Switzerland put Switzerland up 1-0 in penalties. Dani Olmo ties it 1-1 in penalties for Spain. Fabian Schär misses for Switzerland. Rodi misses for Spain. So it's still 1-1. Then Manuel Akanji misses for Switzerland. Then Gerard Moreno gives Spain a 2-1 lead in kicks. Then Ruben Vargas misses. Then Spain has a shot for the win, and they get it on a penalty kick by Mikel Oyarzabal to give Spain the win to move on to the semifinals. Italy over Belgium 2-1. This was a fun game. The first goal of the game for Italy was scored by Nicolo Barella in the 31st minute. And then 13 minutes later, they go up 2-0 on a goal by Lorenzo Insigne. And then Romelu Lukaku of Belgium puts Belgium on the board in the 47th minute on a penalty kick. And that was all the scoring as Italy advances to the semis. Saturday, Denmark over Czech Republic 2-1. Thomas Delaney scores in the 5th minute to give Denmark a 1-0 lead. Then Kasper Dolberg in the 42nd minute gives Denmark a 2-0 lead. Then Czech Republic gets on the board on a goal by Patrick Schick in the 49th minute, as Denmark is your Cinderella team of this tournament, and Czech Republic has been eliminated. And then England over Ukraine 4-0. England just pure domination. Harry Kane in the 4th minute, 1-0 England. Harry Maguire, 46th minute, 2-0 England. Kane again in the 50th minute, 3-0 England. And Jordan Henderson in the 63rd minute, 4-0 England. As England routs Ukraine to go to the semifinals, which begins tomorrow. One game tomorrow, and then one game on Wednesday. And we will preview and pick each of those games on those respective days' podcasts. All right, now we'll move on to tennis, as we will go over the Wimbledon results from Friday all the way up to this morning, and we will look ahead to everything going on for the rest of the day. So we will start with the men's. from Friday. Third round. 10-seeded Denis Shapovalov over Andy Murray in 3. Sebastian Korda upsets 22-seeded Dan Evans in 4. Novak Djokovic over Denis Kudla in 3. 8-seeded Roberto Bautista Agut over Dominic Kofor in 3. Obviously, Djokovic is the 1 seed, in case you didn't know. Martin Fucsovics upsets 9-seeded Diego Schwartzman in 4. 17-seeded Christian Garin over Pedro Martinez in 4. 5-seeded Andrei Rublev over 26-seeded Fabio Fognini in 4. And 25-seeded Karen Kaknavov over Francis Tiafoe in 3. Saturday, men's, third round. 2-seeded Daniil Medvedev over 32-seeded Martin Cilic in 5. 6-seeded Roger Federer over 29-seeded Cameron Norrie in 4. 16-seeded Felix Auger-Aliassime over Nick Kyrgios in 3 and a walkover. 4-seeded Alexander Zverev over 31-seeded Taylor Fritz in 4. 23-seeded Lorenzo Sonego over James Duckworth in 3. 7-seeded Matteo Berrettini over Aljaz Bedin in 3. 14-seeded Hubert Hurkacz over Alexander Bublik in 3. And Ilya Ivashka over Jordan Thompson in 3. They did not play yesterday due to the 4th of July, and the round of 16 began today with a couple of finals. 1-seeded Novak Djokovic over 17-seeded Christian Garin in 3. 10-seeded Denis Shapovalov over Roberto Bautista Agut in 3. Martin Fucsovics upsets 5-seeded Andrei Rublev in 5. 25-seeded Karen Kaknavov over Sebastian Korda in 5. 7-seeded Matteo Berrettini over Ilya Ivashka in 3. And going on right now, you have 16-seeded Felix Auger-Aliassime and 4-seeded Alexander Zverev. I'm going to go Zverev in 4 in that one. Coming up shortly is 14-seeded Hubert Hurkacz and Daniil Medvedev. We're going to go Medvedev in 4. And coming up in a little bit, 6-seeded Roger Federer over and 23-seeded Lorenzo Sonego. We'll go Federer in 4. All right, women's results from the weekend. And we'll look ahead to today a little bit and recap what's gone on so far today. All right, Friday. 23-seeded Madison Keys upsets 13-seeded Elise Bertens in 2. Viktorija Gobelik over Madison Brangle in 2. 21-seeded Ons Jabeur over 11-seeded Gabrine Muguruza in 3. 18-seeded Elena Rabienka over Shelby Rogers in 2. Lamia Samsonova over Solane Stevens in 3. 2-seeded Arina Sabalenka over Maria Osorio Serrano in 2. 8-seeded Carolina Pliskova over Teresa Martinkova in 2. And 7-seeded Iga Swiatek over Arina Begu in 2. Saturday. 1-seeded Ashley Barty over Katerina Sidiakova in 2. 14-seeded Barbora Krejcikova over Anastasia Sevastova in 3. 20-seeded Coco Gauff over Kaja Juvan in 2. Emma Raducanu over Sorana Saresta in 2. 30-seeded Paula Badosa over Magda Linette in 3. 25-seeded Angelique Kerber over Alexandra Sasnovic in 3. Alja Tomjovic over Jelena Ostapenko in 3. And last but not least for Saturday, Carolina Muchova, your 19-seeded, over 16-seeded Anastasia Pavlyuchova in 2. All right, finals so far today. Round of 16, 8-seeded Carolina Pliskova over Lubia Samsonova in 2. 1-seeded Ashley Barty over Barbora Krejcikova in 2. 2-seeded Ariana Sabalenka over 18-seeded Elena Rybinka in 3. 21-seeded Ons Jabeur upsets 7-seeded Iga Swiatek in 3. Going on right now, 20-seeded Coco Gauff and 25-seeded Angelique Kerber. I'm going to go Coco Gauff in 3 there. 23-seeded Madison Keys and Victoria Goblik. We're going to go Keys in 3. 30-seeded Paula Badosa and 19-seeded Carolina Muchova. We're going to go with Muchova in 3. And then coming up later is Emma Raducanu and Alja Tomljanovic. We'll go Tomljanovic in 2 in that one. And then the quarterfinals begin tomorrow. We know one match is going to be Ons Jabeur and Arena Sablenka. We don't know the times of these. We will obviously preview and pick these matches on tomorrow morning's podcast. And then the men's quarterfinal will begin on Wednesday. All right, now I'm going to go over the results from the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And your winner of this event with a score of we had a big playoff here. Your winner with a score of 18 under in the playoff score of 18, Cam Davis. Good for Cam Davis. He deserved it. Played really well. Tied for second in a playoff with a score of 19, Troy Merritt, and then with a score of 5, Joaquin Neiman. So all 18 under. Cam Davis won it. And then Troy Merritt and Joaquin Neiman tied for second, respectively, with their scores of 19 and 5 and then the playoff, respectively. Tied for fourth with a score of 17 under, Alex Noren and Hank Labodia. Tied for sixth with 16 under, Bubba Watson and Brandon Hagee. Tied for eighth with a score of 15 under, Seismus Power, Sunjay Im, Kevin Kisner, and Mark Anderson. Tied for 12th with 14 under, Jason Kokrak and Chris Kirk. Tied for 14th with 13 under, Jason Day, Mackenzie Hughes, Fabian Gomez, Keegan Bradley, Kevin Tway, Pat Perez, and Cam Triangle. Tied for 21st with 12 under, Joel Dahman, Maverick McNeely, Curtis Thompson, and Roger Sloan. Tied for 25th with 11 under, Lucas Griffin, Richie Wierenski, Max Homa, Tommy Lewis, Patton Kazir, Scott Stallings, and Bu Hustler. Tied for 32nd with 10 under, Ricky Fowler, J.J. Spawn, Sean O'Hare, Doug Gibb, Patrick Reed, and Bo Hogg. I forget who my pick was, to be honest. It might have been Patrick Reed. Tied for 38th with 9 under, Henrik Norlander, Brant Snecker, and Robert Streb. Tied for 41st with 8 under, Patrick Rogers, Adam Schenk, Kyle Stanley, Michael Giglick, Cam Percy, Aaron Badley, Russell Knox, Lucas Glover, Garrick Heglo, Michael Gellerman, and Nelson Ledesma. Tied for 52nd with 7 under, Matt Jones, Nick Taylor, Tyler Duncan, and Scott Brown. Tied for 58th with 6 under. Si-Woo Kim. Matt Wolf. Vince Whaley. Matt Neesmith. Davis Thompson. Chris Baker. Now I'm just going to go through notables, guys. Running low on time here. Tied for 67th with 5 under, Sebastian Munoz. Bo Van Pelt was in the tie for 71st with 4 under. Phil was tied for 74th with 3 under. Walter Zalatoris was at even. And in notables cut, Lucas Donald, Gary Woodland, Dylan McCarthy, Dylan Fratelli, Bryson DeChambeau, Emiliano Grillo, Bryce Garnett, Danny Lee, Doc Redman. Doc Redman might have actually been my pick. Adam Hadwin. Rob Oppenheim. Rafa Carrera-Bello. And Hideki Matsuyama, unfortunately, withdrew. All right, NASCAR from the weekend. We will go over the results of the 2 races. We will start with Xfinity and the results from the weekend at Road America. And your winner was Kyle Busch. Second place, Daniel Hemrick. Third, Michael Annett. Fourth, AJ Allmendinger. Fifth, Harrison Burton. Sixth, Kevin Harvick. Seventh, Riley Herbst. Eighth, Austin Cindric. Ninth, Noah Gragson. 10th, Justin Haley. The rest, Brandon Brown, Justin Allgaier, Andy Lally, Jeb Burton, Tommy Joe Martins, Preston Pardos, Josh Williams, Kaz Gralla, Brandon Jones, Timmy Hill, Alex Labb, Brian Sieg, Matt Snyder, Cody Ware, Chris Wright, Stephen Licht, Landon Castles, Jeremy Clemens, Josh Belicki, Ryan Ellis, Brett Moffitt, Natalie Decker, Ty Gibbs, Jay Buford, Sam Meyer, and Spencer Pumpelly. And now the Cup results from Road America. And your winner was Chase Elliott. In second place was Chris Bell. Third, Kyle Busch. Fourth, Kurt Busch. Fifth, Denny Hamlin. Sixth, Chase Briscoe. Seventh, Ross Chastain. Eighth, Tyler Reddick. Ninth, Martin Truex Jr. 10th, Matt DiBenedetto. The rest, Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Cole Custer, Chris Buescher, Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, Corey LaJoie, Alex Bowman, Josh Belicki, Bubba Wallace, Justin Haley. There's a couple of errors here I noticed. Justin Haley, Ty Dillon, Kevin Harvick, James Davis, AJ Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, Cody Ware, Ryan Newman, William Byron, Quinn Houff, Kyle Tilley, Daniel Suarez, Anthony Alfredo, Austin Cindric, Ryan Eversley, and Ryan Preece. Alrighty, now I'm going to go over the latest news and notes from the weekend. The Major League Baseball All-Stars were revealed. I'm going to read them off. And maybe on tomorrow's show, I'm going to look and see how I did to my preseason picks. So again, the starters. At catcher, Salvador Perez. This is the American League. First place, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Second base, Marcus Semien. Third base, Rafael Devers. Shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Outfield, Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Teoscar Hernandez, DH, Shohei Ohtani. Reserves, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Jose Ramirez, Nelson Cruz, JD Martinez, Bo Bichette, Matt Olson, Jared Walsh, Mike Zunino, Michael Brantley, Joey Gallo, Adolis Garcia, Cedric Mullins. Pitchers, Garrett Cole, Lance Lynn, Shane Bieber, Shohei Ohtani, Nathan Eovaldi, Kyle Gibson, Yusei Kikuchi, Carlos Rodon, Aroldis Chapman. How did Aroldis Chapman make the All-Star team? That is beyond me. That guy should not have made the All-Star team. That's terrible. He won based on name recognition. Oh my God, he's been terrible. He literally is the reason why they've been on this slide right now. He cost them at least 10 games with late. Liam Hendricks, Ryan Presley, Matt Barnes, Gregory Soto. National League starters. At catcher, Buster Posey, Freddie Freeman, Adam Frazier, Nolan Arenado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr., Nicholas Castellanos, Jesse Winker. And then reserves, JT Realmuto, Max Muncy, Ozzie Albies, Brendan Crawford, Chris Bryant, Jake Cronenworth, Eduardo Escobar, Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, Brian Reynolds, Kyle Schwarber, Juan Soto, Chris Taylor. Pitchers, Jacob deGrom, Yu Darvish, Brendan Woodruff, Corbin Burns, Kevin Gossman, Herman Marquez, Trevor Rogers, Zach Wheeler, Craig Kimbrell, Mark Melancon, Josh Hader, Alex Reyes. And some snubs, Walker Buehler, Omar Narvaez, Emmanuel Clase, Yuli Gurriel, or some snubs. Some other news and notes I'm going to do quickly. The San Francisco Giants revealed City Connect uniforms as their alternate jerseys feature silhouette of the Golden Gate Bridge and unique fraud gradient across front sleeves and numbers. That's pretty cool. Trevor Lawrence signed his rookie deal, 4 years, $36.8 million, with 21 or 24.1 guaranteed. The league is questioning Trevor Bauer as they want to meet with Bauer and the woman who said he sexually assaulted, or the woman who said that he sexually assaulted her. So that's interesting. So, Slovenia made the Olympics, led by Luka Doncic, as Doncic's teammates interrupted his press conference to celebrate their first trip to the Olympics. So Eriksson, the Denmark star, is at the hospital taking pictures with his family, so that was good to see. The Cowboys were picked for Hard Knocks, which will debut on August 10th and streaming on HBO Max. So that is fitting that they finally get to be on Hard Knocks. So bad, or not bad, but it's bad and sad news. Columbus Blue Jackets goaltender Matisse Kivlenieks passes away after apparent head injury from fall. Thoughts and prayers go to Kivlenieks' family and his teammates and the Columbus Blue Jackets organization. It's just really sad news. So that's really, really sad. 24 years old. Just awful news to hear. The Team USA Olympics basketball schedule came out. For group stage matchups as well. Jacob deGrom could miss the All-Star game, as the Mets ace is expected to pitch 2 days prior to the game, and says that he'll pick the smartest and safest thing for him. So the National League will be getting another All-Star, and it could very well be Walker Buehler. The Mets and the Twins have had preliminary talks with about Josh Donaldson. He would be a great addition to the Mets. The Mets are among the worst offensive teams in baseball. Well, that's partly because of injury. But Donaldson would be a great addition to the Mets. Trae Young says we will be back, as the Hawks star took to Twitter after getting eliminated by the Bucks and says we'll be back, Atlanta. Pat Beverly suspended 1 game for forcefully pushing Chris Paul in Game 6. Klay Thompson had an Instagram live from a boat and says it's hard to watch the playoffs because it'd be a different story if Golden State was there. C.J. Abrams has a fractured left tibia and sprained MCL, so he's out for the season. That is a brutal loss for the Padres farm system. Team USA baseball roster is out, featuring Todd Frazier and Edwin Jackson, along with Nick Allen, Eddie Alvarez, Tristan Casas, Jamie Westbrook, Tyler Austin, Eric Filia, Patrick Kivilhan, Jack Lopez, Bubba Starling. Those are among the position players. And catchers Tim Federitz and Mark Casavari. And then pitchers Shane Baz, Anthony Carter, Brandon Dixon, Anthony Ghost, Edwin Jackson, who I mentioned, Scott Kazmir, Nick Martinez, Scotty McGough, David Robertson, Joe Ryan, Ryder Ryan, and Simone Woods Richardson. That's not a bad roster, so some names in there. A couple former Yankees in there, too, and former Mets. Joey Chestnut breaks record. He's the hot dog king, the goat of all goats. 14-time champion destroyed 76 hot dogs to beat his own world time record. That's just wild. This guy's just going to continue to do this every 4th of July. Richard Sherman opened the Seattle return. The NFL did not cancel 49ers OTA after voluntarily canceled their last OTA and mandatory minicamp. Josh Gordon files for reinstatement and hopes to be with the team by camp. The Lakers interviewed Scott Brooks for a position on Frank Vogel's staff. The Wizards interviewed Darvin Ham for their head coaching position and has support within the organization. Kyle Schwarber has a significant hamstring strain and will miss extended time. Bad loss for the Nats, who has been carrying them with his home run hitting of late. E.J. Little will return to Ohio State as he pulls out of the draft, so that's a big return for Ohio State for college basketball. Giants wide receiver Kenny Golladay facing contempt charge after failing to appear in a virtual deposition in December. Joel Erickson X signs a max deal, 8-year, $42 million contract, the first max contract in wild history. So now they have one of their young stars locked up. Reggie Bush could get the Heisman back as the Heisman Trust announces that he would receive vacated 2005 Heisman Trophy if his records are reinstated by the NCAA. And Patrick Mahomes says, let Sha'Carri Richardson run after her positive marijuana test suspension. As Mahomes says, this is so trash, man. All right, that's it for news and notes today. Last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. As I said on the show earlier, my last one was a loser as I bet an under, and the Blue Jays went single-handedly over. All right. Best bet today. I think it's because the number is really low. I'm going to go over 7.5 Brewers Mets. I don't like Trevor McGill. I don't think he's any good. And the Mets offense showed a little something against the Yankees, I thought. So I'm going to go 2 units on over 7.5 between the Brewers and the Mets. Over 7.5. All right, so there you have it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping the games and everything. Stanley Cup Final. Look at the Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Major League Baseball, WNBA, obviously the Wimbledon results as well. Maybe I'll have an MLB mock draft for you, news and notes, and best bet as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.